Donald Trump will be our next president of the United States, despite the fact that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote here. The Electoral College system really ruling over everything. So here to talk about this system, the who, what, where, when, why, is head of the political science department at OSU, Jeanette Mendez. Thank you so much for being with us here.
Sure.
Again, I know you were on the panel the other night, so
Yes.
you've had a really busy week here. Clinton had about, at last check, I think about 200,000 more votes than Trump did. And a lot of people really scratching their heads at home. How is this possible? How do the people vote for one thing?
Sure.
And then we get another?
Sure. Well, we have a system, that's the Electoral College. It's the system the framers put in place. They believed that they needed a check on the system to make sure that the right president was being elected. They were unsure if the will of the people would elect the right president. So they set up kind of an arbiter to ensure that we get the right president. And so what it means is that each state votes for a slate of electors, and those electors then cast their vote for president. And because of the population sizes of each state, we are allocated the number of House members to the House of Representatives, and our electoral votes are our House members plus our senators. And so for Oklahoma, we have 5 members of the House and 2 senators. So we have 7 electoral college votes. So it's all population based. And what that means is when we went and voted, if you saw on your ballot, it had all of your 7 electors for each party there, and they will now go cast the vote.
And taking this back to the history of all this, you just gave a fantastic explanation. Doesn't this date back to slavery?
Sure.
I mean, is this outdated?
It is in the sense that, by and large, it usually matches up with the popular vote and the electoral vote. Whoever wins both wins the presidency. However, in 2 of the last 5 elections, 2000 and now 2016, that doesn't match up. The problem is every time it doesn't match up, we start talking about, is it outdated? Should we change it? And who has to change it is your state legislature in a constitutional amendment, or Congress and calling for that and then having it ratified by the state legislatures. And so the party that it benefits doesn't really want to change it.
Okay, and back to 2000, you're of course talking about when Bush beat Gore. And I did want you to touch on that too. Talk about the rarity of this happening. Is this what is this, 5th time?
The 5th time ever that it's happened. And so because it doesn't happen that often, people say it works. The other argument, though, too, is that this really benefits smaller states. And right now, those smaller states are generally have more rural populations. They have less electoral votes, but per capita, they have more. And so there is a small state advantage, and all of those states don't want to see a change to the system. It's a chance for them to have their vote heard. But what it means is in a state like California, where Hillary Clinton can win by 2 million votes, it didn't matter. All she needed was 50.1% of the vote to get all of the electors. But she ran up the vote total by so much, and so that's how you can have someone win the popular vote and not the Electoral College.
And bringing it back here to Oklahoma, we had 7 electoral votes up for grabs, and we heard from a lot of Democrats here saying, you know, if the state is going to go red, and which we overwhelmingly did, why do we even vote in the first place? Why do we take part in this voting process? Why is it our civic duty when, you know, we're going to go red and all those electoral votes are going to go to one candidate? Why take part?
It's true. I think in this election, the message I was pushing was we had down ballot races going on and we had state questions going on. But it's hard to counter that argument. My vote doesn't count. But if every single person said my vote didn't count, then we don't know if we'd be red or blue, right? We all still have to vote. But for Democrats in Oklahoma or a third party in Oklahoma, it does make it harder to justify that. But because it's our civic duty and because there are other things on the ballot, it does make it important to do.
And we heard, you know, all throughout this campaign, Donald Trump used the phrase rigged system. Not necessarily just talking about the Electoral College, but just in general. Is this a rigged system? I mean, is this unfair in your mind to the American people?
It's unfair in the sense that one vote, your one vote should matter in an equal way. Yes, then if you think about it in those terms. But if you think about the founding of the country, why we have this in place, and the fact that it usually doesn't matter in the sense that those those two things line up, then those that strongly believe in the constitutionality of our system and the history of it, then it is fair in that sense. It's the system that we work within. It's not new to the Democrats or Republicans to know that they need to get these electoral votes, and so they were operating within this system that they knew of.
Okay, I'm going to put a pause on this conversation. We're going to get a quick check of the forecast, but a lot of people chimed in on this. It's really a convoluted system, and people don't understand